for last night as well. I
He
just want,
Okay.
was.
I just want to
Thank
say
you.
that
Absolutely.
to both of you guys, both of you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for saying that. Uh, I don't know. I got some notes going on here. Just trying to get everything right on my side of this computer right now. Okay, now I'm back. Boom. We're in there. All right, peace and blessings, beautiful family. Thank y'all for joining us for another amazing episode of Who Naked Up in Here. I'm your host, Mr. Woods, my co-pilot, Gifted Johnson Wilkerson, in the building. How's everybody doing tonight?
Woohoo!
Tired,
Yeah.
but
Good.
happy to see you guys.
Yes. Mhm.
The boomerang, the feeling is definitely mutual. Um, and forgive me, I did miss your show, but I did happen to catch the I am going to catch the playback. I've just been busy, busy, busy. I've been working these 12-hour shifts and it's been consuming me. But you look beautiful. I did see glimpse of it to let me know that the show is posted, and I will make sure I go back and check it out. I'm talking to you, Brooklyn, in the house. And
Thank
congratulations
you.
on winning impromptu again
Thank
this
you.
month.
I'll be representing Tesoro to on the 10th. So I got another
Who's
feature on
that?
the 10th. Tesoro, with Stacy Dyson.
Beautiful, beautiful. Make sure you keep us posted with that.
Okay.
Hopefully, everybody can make it and show some support in that room as well.
Okay.
All right. But how's everybody doing? Y'all can unmute yourself and show some love to one another. Embrace the room.
Fine, thank you.
Woohoo! Yeah. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Love
We
you
made it to
too.
Wednesday night.
Oh, there's Nemo. I was about to say, where is Nemo?
Yes, we
Nemo is here. Is Nemo here?
I'm here.
Hey,
Yep.
He's here.
Nemo.
I just saw him.
I had the
Yeah.
camera turned off, but I am here.
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, y'all know how we do it up in this platform. It's an open mic, safe space to share. And if you find yourself in that space that you would like to share time with us tonight, by all means, the way we do it is by raising your hand in the queue, and when all hands that are raised will definitely be acknowledged, and we'll give you time to share your works. Um, Only thing that I ask is that while someone is speaking, you keep your mics muted, and the chat is free to conversate all throughout the evening. And after the artist finishes speaking, performing, however you want to view that, you can unmute yourself and show love, pay homage to the words as well as the artist. All right. With that being said, we're gonna do two pieces apiece tonight. And if we find ourselves with some extra time, we'll do another round and allow everybody that would like to share to do another piece. That sound cool?
Yes.
Sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
Awesome. I'm gonna open up as always. I'll do my first two pieces and then I'll pass the mic. Uh, I've been trying to keep my energy level up because I've been working these 12 hour schedules and they definitely been draining. But we here, and I think that's what's most important. So let me know if y'all still see me. Can y'all still see and hear me on the screen?
I can see you. I think we all need to take a nap
Yeah.
together then. You talking about 12 hours. That's just insane.
Yeah, I've been working. I'm on a 12-day work schedule. I work every other weekend. So I'm looking forward to Friday so I can be off Saturday and Sunday. But I've been working 12-hour days from Monday through Thursday. Then my other days have just been 8 hours.
Good God. Yeah, you're gonna need to sleep, brother.
Yeah, I've been pushing.
With all due respect, be careful with yourself.
Thank you, brother. I'm definitely doing that. The good news is I don't have far to travel. Like I literally walk across the street and I'm at my workspace. That's the beauty of it. But outside of that, I'm doing 7 to 7, moon to moon. Okay, y'all can still hear me, right?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. This first piece I'm going to share is called Success is the Confirmatory Smile of Understanding. I am a man who is known for having a sense of trade. Along the journey, I've been given many names, from black market to bootleg, peddler, and vendor. Some have even called me the hustler. Being a street merchant can put your face on a statement made of belittlement. I'd have to admit, it wasn't easy to see a profit out of peddling imagination. Finding ways to word support in a community of those who'd work hard for their money versus the loosened palms of those accustomed to survive existing in a panhandling situation. An open trunk and a table on the street had the attiring of a con artist. Only those with self-sufficient aspirations would support such an entrepreneurial excavation. Yet I used to tie my success to the number of sales I made. In a world where dollars made the most sense, profiting off of a couple book sales could feel like rubbing two coins together. It took me more tribulations to understand the value of my message. It took more tribulations for me to understand that the value of my messages didn't come with price tags. Something I admit I lost sight of when I barcoded a worth on the binding. At the same time, I limited its understanding by not allowing it to get in the hands of those it was most written for, the ones with funding equivalencies that advocated their education, experiences that was taken captive to limit contendency through destitution. For those unread words, unheard and unspoken, that I found in audacity before I wrote it. I've learned it wasn't for those who chose the book, but for those the book had chosen. So if tomorrow's kids are truly the future, I pray they will learn from our mistakes. And instead of drowning in our paths, they'll make larger prints in the sand. I worked harder to get my noting into youthful hands. Today, I count my successions by the amount of times I make my children smile. It took me some time, but I realize now that growing their hearts big was always my mission. So if the Most High decides my existence in physical form has reached its date, I can accept the change, the release of my spirit from its captive shell case, knowing that my harvested seeds have bloomed into fine organic fruit, just the way he intended them to be when he sought out to utilize me, waiting my hands to carry the hefty messaging of his pen, encouraging every deadlift curl to keep me in shape, lining the cloaked underlay to keep the youth awake. Success is in the confirmatory smile of one understanding. Love is the only way back to God. I only hate that it took me this long to figure out that poem.
Wow.
Love is the only way back to God. Right on.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Erica got two of the lines. Well, Erica got one of the lines, one of my favorite lines, in a world where dollars made the most sense. And then my other favorite line, instead of drowning in our own paths or drowning in our paths, they'll make larger prints in the sand. Something that's powerful. And I don't have my emojis tonight. This computer won't let me do emojis, so I don't have emojis, but y'all know a purple heart go behind there.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Awesome. I love that piece. Love is the only way back.
Yeah, I do so much advocacy for the community that I leave myself out a lot. So I was just start trying to dig in to do more affirmations, more pieces of opening about myself. So thank y'all for receiving that one. This next piece I'm gonna do is a new write as well. It's entitled Nigga Rights. It was just yesterday. The US Senate tabled a new law to readmit tree lynchings, as if the calls to end the life of guilty defendants aren't brutal enough. I guess there isn't adequate suffering distributed through the veins of a lethal injection, nor is there sufficient power enforced in a life recalled sentencing of an electric chair. There may not be enough see it coming imposed through the firing squad's barrels to be satisfactory for an overseer to feel accomplished in his duty to take out a convicted felon. Because the state Senate have taken their gloves off. They've unmasked themselves in a hooded removal, taken their stance in seats across from each other and gabbled their fists in terms of agreement, a plea to redefine their aim, in having a man or a woman hang until the last of their breaths are strangled from out of their reflex body. A lynching in front of an anticipating crowd has been their aspiration. The idea of such a cruelly issued punishment is evident of how much they've missed their picnics. And through lawful incrimination, they come to gather once again. This is a conversation waving underneath our noses, a table discussion amongst racist lawmakers, a write-up that someone took the time to put together, while a magnitude of brown-skinned people have the audacity to pride themselves as so-called niggas. A clear utilization of a defamation, suffocating our heritage in its sleep. Have we forgotten how hard their lives have been? How they fought the tyrants who pegged them in name behind fire hoses, dogs, and gunmen, disrespecting the genius of us because of our mahogany skin. I can see their shadows in the wood grain facet, tilting their heads to raise ours again. Faces in the asphalt with arms crossed over, silhouettes in sheetrock of our ancestors. People popping out of plaster, poking their lips out, expressions of disappointment for how we've carried on. I could damn near hear their voices calling out, scolding aback like grandparenting. Ida B. Wells, Mary Church Terrell, Benjamin Banneker, W.E.B. Du Bois, Angela Davis, Thurgood Marshall, Rosa Parks, Marcus Garvey, Desmond Tutu, Assata Shakur, Bobby Seale, Stokely Carmichael, Mamiya Abu Jamal, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Dick Gregory, Black activists, telling it like it is. You haven't earned the right to disrespect yourself. Out here taking this life in vain. You don't even have their permission to die today until you fight for something worth more than a right to call yourself a nigga. Oh.
I'm speechless. I don't even know.
Yeah, heavy. Wow.
I don't even know. I almost hate when you spit because your truth is so hurtful.
Mm. Mm.
I
So
just wish,
powerful.
but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's an
Truth is
ugly
hard
truth.
sometimes.
I think it's eye-opening as
Yes.
well.
Yeah,
Yes, sometimes the truth can be hard to take and swallow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's necessary,
Yes.
especially in these times. It's necessary to hear, and it's teachable.
absolutely.
No,
No, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And
But
it
and I
I'm
takes,
don't
telling you,
just,
but it
I
makes me want
don't.
to come out of
Oh,
character, though. That's the problem.
yeah,
It incites something that that's normally not my character.
yeah,
Like an uprising. And
yeah,
that's the thing. I'm just like, well, damn, this is what's going on now. When I don't know anything, wits will definitely bring it to light and teach because I didn't know this was going on.
mm.
yeah,
It takes courage to be a griot. It takes courage to be a poet, no matter
yeah,
the gender. But it takes a great deal of courage because the first thing folks do when they have these oppressive regimes, the first thing they do is persecute and vilify the poets, the griots, the scholars, the educators, the ones who teach, the ones who are not afraid, because you have something in your spirit that's calling you, like a preacher. You're called to do this. It takes courage to stand up and do this. One love, y'all.
Yes, I agree. I agree, Miss Betty. I agree wholeheartedly, y'all. That's Miss Betty. Um, and what I was going to say, and not because you know, Mr. Witz is my friend or I know him, but I would love to see these types of poems truly be teachable moments. I work with the youth, and they need to hear things like this. So I really appreciate your work and your pen. So thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all all for receiving the message. It's not always easy to speak it, though it may seem like it. But you know, I feel like that's my duty to be a truth seeker and to deliver that message. So I don't do it to spark a uprising or any form of racial division. But it's to bring attention and awareness so that we can unify in other ways. You know, it doesn't have to be a war to build. You know, and in building, then we're destroying so much. So much negativity can be destroyed when you build collectively. And I think that's really the point of the message. I really appreciate you saying that the children need to hear it, because I feel like, though I'm speaking to the adults in the room, I'm talking to the child that rests inside us, or the ones who was, you know, sort of quieted or, you know, closeted, and um, maybe not, maybe couldn't either find the words or find the courage to be this loud. Yeah, so thank you. I really appreciate y'all receiving the message. Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna move on and get this energy back up. I hope I didn't bring anybody down. I know my messages can be heavy, but you know, God gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to look to anybody, look to God for answers that I haven't given. You know. With that being said, let's open our hearts and our mics to our first open micer, Kelly Mary McAllister.
To be fair, Marie, and
Let's go.
the
Let's
same.
go, Kelly, please.
I always say
I need to hear you, girl.
You haven't read that tonight yet, Erica?
I need to hear some uplifting, and I love you. I love you, Wits. It just makes me sad that these things are going on. It really does hurt my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It just
All right.
hurts.
I'll try to take us in a slightly differently depressing direction. Because I don't think I've ever written anything cheerful. Okay. So I've got two.
Thinking that too, like, well, Kelly kind of tells it like it is as well, in a different way, but she kind of brings some truth to light as well. So let's see where this goes.
I'll do one poem that I did at a feature at Chalky's open mic, which was at 7. But then I'll do one that I didn't do there, so those that were there don't have to listen to me too redundantly. So we'll do the redundancy first. It's called They Don't Call It Poverty. They don't call it food insecurity. When their cupboards are more bare than not, they call it math. The calculation of what they have versus what they do not. And how long will it be until they have again, and how long will that last? And how far can they stretch a bag of rice, and how long is too long without fresh vegetables? And what makes you fullest longest on the slimmest sliver of a cent? They don't call it housing security, when even their dreams cannot conceive of owning a home. They call it rigged, when those with excess cash or impeccable credit or the largesse of family wealth can afford the down payment on a home where a mortgage payment is so often lower than the ever escalating extortion of private market rent that makes it impossible to save enough to escape the wheel of chance that is renting in a market that cares for investors over residents. They don't call it insufficient allocations when they cash the pittance granted to those disabled. They call it cruelty. After they jump through hoops of qualification to prove they cannot jump through hoops of occupation, to be relegated to the hoops for social services designed for their new inevitable social station, with more strings and impediments and indignities than those who are even able to see. They don't call it poverty when the few have a lot while the lot have a little. They call it exploitation, as they work their full-time hours and can't live off the livable wage determined mathematically, callously, by those who have never had to live on it. When payday covers back payments owed and a rainy day means they will drown. We don't call it poverty. You call it poverty. So you can decide how little of your much you are willing to part with and then call it charity, without any clarity that it's the system without parity that makes escaping it a rarity. The disparity is growing, while you willfully ignore the erosion of your insularity. The time is coming for you to answer for the severity of your barbarity. So that's my call to revolution.
Woohoo!
They need an
That's a good
emoji
one.
with a fist in the air, man.
I
I
swear
don't think they have one.
I don't either. But Kelly, I gotta find you on IG. I need to talk to you. That piece is so poignant.
Thank you.
And I'll just say that. Wow.
It's my 3 names, all one word.
Got
And then I have a second piece that's a little bit more personal. It's a poem in 3 parts called Obese. Part 1, Discovery. In a forgotten photo found in the closet that serves as the designated tomb of my childhood, I am wearing a dress I remember well, remarkable only for how utterly ugly I felt in it. Stretched taut across my belly, cradling the soft swell of baby fat swaddling my middle, its straight lines incompatible with my new roundness. The encroaching curves of a woman, curves that could not be hidden by that simple striped dress. I was a whale, I'd thought, a beached whale. I don't even remember learning that phrase, but it echoed whale, insistently whale in my head, whale. It lived inside me as fact, which grew roots, flowered into my very own tree of knowledge where I gorged myself on its poison fruit for decades, my size as my sin. And as I fed on that fruit, I did balloon like that beached whale, left to bloat on an abandoned stretch of shore, rotting from the inside. But in this artifact, I saw a stranger, with my face, my dress, my lies. In this photo was an average girl, not a whale, of an average size, just a girl, in an average dress, not a whale. Part 2, Blame. The snake that lived in the branches of the tree of the poisoned fruit serenaded me as I ate, hissing songs of self-hatred in my eager ears, songs of my gluttony, my worthlessness, my selfishness, songs that reverberated with the power of a choir exultant in the certainty of my inadequacy. The snake in his song broke me down, as he had broken my mother, and her mother before her, as he said that he decided her value, not she, and that she could not have too much of anything, especially herself. So we learned to eat our own, taking out our softest, our softness, before a predator could do it for us. Is that an act of kindness, do you think? Or simply practical with margins for survival so thin? But where others built a callus, grew thick skin, scales that they could shed when it no longer served them, I remained stubbornly soft, sent into a world that preys on softness, reducing it to numbers, pounds, pants, the goddamn BMI, numbers too large, too much, which made me not enough. Part 3, Acceptance. Humanity has fooled ourselves into thinking that we are greater than beasts in the wild, as if we are ruled by reason, solely by reason, impervious to songs of snakes hissed deep inside, those sibilant melodies of need, of want, of fear, of scarcity. To live is to consume, And no beast has ever consumed like humanity. A teeming mass, constantly hungry, constantly reaching, constantly striving for more, 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 heedless of the consequences. Perhaps the weight that hung my head low for so long was never just my own, but the weight of a species facing the consequences of overdue reparations. Since the evidence, then, of my overconsumption sits upon my very bones, too big to ignore, I must bear the weight of the collective self-hatred of billions, whose own overconsumption marks not themselves, only others, so they may hide from the weight of their actions in a landfill. I refuse to lay the sins of man upon my shoulders simply because they are broad enough. I refuse to be a martyr, sacrificing myself for our species' shared shame. My size may be my sin, but we are all sinners. And I am only one woman, an average girl, a beast in the wild, doing her best to simply survive.
Wow. Y'all open your mics and show some love. I
Wow
found
is right.
Superb. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right to surviving.
every time I hear it, it's powerful. This part two. Can you say that opening line again?
Sure. Part 2, the opening line. Come back. The snake that lived in the branches of the tree of the poison fruit serenaded me as I ate, hissing songs of self-hatred in my eager ears.
That was just wow. Wow.
Thank you.
And then the whole as you go into it and you say, I wrote it down, we learn to eat our own.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that was that sympathy for them or something? What did you say? Something like that. So,
We
was
learn
it
to
the
eat
fact
our
that
own,
it's
taking out our softness, our softest, our softness before a predator could do it for them. Is that an act of kindness, do you think?
right? Oh, yeah. Just so much power in that piece,
Thank you.
and it makes sense because um, we've always found ways to tease one another, to pick each other apart, rather than lifting each other up. And it was just our way of being humanized by dehumanizing one another. That triptych was amazing. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you for creating the space.
I think you got some comments in the chat. Any more flowers for Kelly before we move forward?
Yes, Kelly, I enjoyed your poem. I love listening to revolutionary pieces of work. I love especially women, since our voices were taken away. We didn't have voices until a few years ago. 40, 50 years is not enough for me. So I'm just thanking God for feminism, regardless of how much society tries to vilify feminism, because feminism was originally manifested because women didn't have equal rights. We didn't have a voice, and people turned it into something different. So I just love hearing women speak up on issues despite what anybody thinks or feels about it. So just never lose sight of your voice, because we need women to speak up for not just people, but for us. We need women, because I don't like men speaking up for me unless you are an ally. But we need women to speak up for other women. So thank you for that.
I love that. I love that. Good habit.
I'm so blown away by your ability to share your truth and to be vulnerable. I feel like I aspire to your level of vulnerability. And I'm trying to say that in a complimentary fashion. I hope it's coming across that way. So, yeah.
Oh, most definitely. It most definitely is. That's a big statement coming from you, Nemo. Because you definitely embody yours as well. So it's great to have that as an aspiration. That's powerful to have Kelly be able to spark things inside you that make you want to even work even harder at being creative to listen to your message. Anyone else? I don't want to miss anybody.
I just love her work. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm looking for her, so I was busy. Sorry, but I love her work. Love her pen and that piece, the truth
Excuse me.
about food consumption. Yeah, we'll talk. All right, I'll talk to you. Love it. Thanks a lot, Kelly.
Well, thank you, Kelly. We appreciate you sharing. Y'all give Kelly some love. And while y'all doing that, open your hearts and y'all mics and show some love to the Megas, Gustav, Salas. Welcome.
Hey, Mr. Witz, Gifted, and all beloved poets tonight. I have one longer piece for you. It's called The Stochastic Ekphrastics. This is the Hieronymus Bosch Garden of Earthly Delights Ekphrasis. Welcome to the Garden of Earthly Delights. Welcome to the Palace of Unseeable Sights. Sensual pleasures await the brave. Eternal damnation awaits the knave. Bosch ate some shrooms, of that I am certain, and he got a glimpse when he pulled back the curtain of a blissful world for the righteous to enjoy, a hellscape for the evil who seek to destroy. This is the Dalinian persistence of memory ekphrasis. I'm about to get ekphrastic just to prove my mind's elastic. Dali's clocks melting like plastic makes me feel a little stochastic. Ants swarm the pocket watch. Symbolism kicks you in the crotch. The persistence of memory of 1931. One war coming, another just done. The rotting flesh of a surreal creature, a bleak landscape with just one feature. Dali discredited completely the world of reality, till reality made of Dali a fatality. This is the Go Van Gogh self-portrait with a bandaged ear ekphrasis. Self-portrait with a bandaged ear, an impressionist work painted in 1889 by an artist prone to losing his mind. Vincent cut his own ear off. How he did it, I'll never get clear. Madness written on his gaunt features. Creatives are the oddest of creatures. Andy Warhol's Mao ekphrasis. Mao, 189 silk screen paintings in 5 scales, 1972 to 1973. Warhol interprets the photo reproduced everywhere during the height of the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976, when Mao killed millions of Chinese people. Warhol examines fame, capitalist advertising, and the raw power of propaganda with his bold colors splashed over the repeated image of the tyrant Mao. Mao got the Marilyn Monroe treatment, entered the Warhol mythos, and became as famous in America as a can of Campbell's tomato soup. Magritte's The Lovers' Two ekphrasis. Renee, a bleak display, intimate cessation, only frustration and isolation, 2 lovers in a hooded kiss. Clearly something is amiss. And this is the last one. It's the Alex Gray Oversoul ekphrasis. Oversoul by the visionary artist Alex Gray is just like how my head feels today. Human consciousness is a bridge between planetary and cosmic consciousness. This is the theme behind this holographic universe. This is the now. This is ever the now. Live in the now, the now, the now, the now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know I was right about that.
Yo.
Your mic, but
Live in the now, the now, the now.
right. You hear that echoing out.
Ow,
Megan, you
ow,
need to
ow.
be I see you on the radio, man. You know, when I hear you do your pieces, I think of when Bill Cosby used to do the Brown Hornet for the Cosby Kids, and it was like a radio broadcast that they used to gather around and listen to, and that's how big your pieces come off. They come off like this huge um this huge playwright, so to speak, if you allow for that. Um, and it needs to come through speakers. It needs to come in volume. And I could just see people gathered around just listening to you for the segment and waiting for the next one, you know?
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was yeah. That was a very interesting poem. I would actually I would really love to read that if you post that on your profile. Isn't an ekphrastic poem one that you use an image to write to? Is that what
Yes,
an
they're all paintings. All of those were
okay.
paintings.
I know I
So
was
they're all
listening to
riffing on painting.
yes, when you just talked about Van Gogh, and then I heard Andy Warhol. I picked up a couple names, Andy Warhol, Van Gogh, and then I was thinking about how they were going crazy and painting all these vivid images. Like I felt like you were painting very vivid images with your poetry, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm trying to connect the dots between an ekphrastic poem while you're doing ekphrastic poetry, talking about other images. I was, yeah, I need to sit down and read that. That was very creative, and it was really nice and full of knowledge. And you pointed out a few things about Andy Warhol. I literally just came across an article a few days ago about him and how he had workers. Um, from one of those third world countries helping him with his art, and they were severely underpaid, and they called him like a diva or something like that in that world. So it was very interesting to hear that history come out somewhat in your poem. So but anyway, I that was so creative, man. I really like that. Let me stop talking.
Thank you, Dee. If you put your email in the chat, I'll send you the poem.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And
Sure.
thank you for expressing that.
Yes, I
Made
oh
that connection. I'm sorry, just one quick thing. That's what that made the connection to the Marilyn Monroe reference. Um, what you just said about him being this diva, out of using somebody else's words. Um, yeah. Go ahead, Gifted.
I'm after gifted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say I loved it as well, especially for the different artists, especially for Van Gogh, who is one of my favorites. I know he has a bad rep with cutting off his ear and his mental stability, but he is still um, one of my favorite impressionists. Obviously for Starry Night and for Sunflower and so many others. And I didn't know about Andy Warhol because I like his work as well. So very well done, Megas. I enjoyed that piece very much.
Thank you.
You teach both in your content and in your skill. Um, the way that you use your words, and the things that you're saying, they're so clear, and powerful.
Thank you, Nemo.
Yeah, awesome. I love to see you all loving on each other. That's what this whole show is about. Really finding that freedom to be revealing and being embraced and being raw in your delivery. So I love it. Please continue that energy of paying homage to one another. That's the biggest thing that I love about you all showing up every week is that you truly, truly embrace and love one another in this room. Anyone else before I move forward? Before we move forward. Okay. Make it, you got some love in that. Y'all make sure you check that out. Y'all give some more love to the Vegas, and while y'all doing that, open y'all hearts and y'all mics, and let's show some love to our brother Nemo soon. What's up, fool?
Hey, food dog. I have two thematically connected micropoems.
Before you go into that, tell us a little bit about your trip.
Right. So microtriptych is three thematically connected micropoems. And
No,
I
sir.
have
Sir,
two
tell
of them
us a
this
little bit
evening.
about your trip that you just came.
Oh, my trip. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, Shane Maynor and I went up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to do an open mic up there. We featured at an open mic that was started by another one of the guerrilla poets. So it was really great. I love doing online, but there is also something incredible about in person and interacting with an audience and being live and feeling like I can and talk to the person that's right in front of me. So that's pretty cool.
You didn't ask my permission to leave the state. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
I keep cutting the ankle bracelet off, it's terrible. All right. I have two connected microtriptychs, and I'm just going to read them straight through. Sad King John was just a boy when his reign began, handed a crown instead of a handkerchief when the crying wouldn't stop. Now it scrapes and screeches as he drags it along behind him. With these sandbags of doubt, I built my bulwark against hope, who sometimes comes marching in unbidden, her departure inevitable. Maybe it's the quiet I can't handle. When the storm has passed, that's when I'm diving into the ditch and covering my head. When the car comes to a screeching halt, only then do I put up my hands to protect a face that's already cut to shreds. Maybe it's the calm I can't handle. When the great guns are silent and I'm standing in the quiet and there's no more noise to drown out the scratching that's coming from inside. There's no more cacophony to muffle the cries. When there's finally peace, I find myself praying the fighting starts again. Do you ever have a day where you don't want to be awake, but staying in bed means more nightmares? Do you ever get up to find depression waiting in the hallway in all her splendor? Do you ever feel like you're trapped in a glass box and you can't touch anything? Everything is separated from you by a cool, lifeless pain. Do you ever get to the point where you haven't eaten? Because that would require making a decision. And that's too much to ask right now. Do you ever believe that everyone is upset and disappointed in you? You've used up the last of your friends' goodwill and support, and now you truly are alone. Do you ever sense that your messages aren't getting through? your words wasted, sent into the empty? Do you ever feel sad? And the only reason is that your mood has decided to fuck with you today. Do you ever want to scream? Do you ever need to cry? Do you ever have one of those days? Help wanted, urgent to fill. Must have experience with crisis and crashes and crying. Must know interventions, be able to read intentions, be okay with failing, must be able to handle doubt. Perfect candidate has been broken, has been hopeless, has been lost. Must be able to find the light at the end of the tunnel, or at least never stop trying. Serious inquiries only. Can't be nobody forever. I can't find the light while I'm hiding, living in the crater of my once upon a time. Thank you.
Nemo, I didn't know you could curse.
You cuss? I didn't hear him cuss.
That was passionate. I was like, ooh, okay.
Nemo, I just want to hug you. I just want
I
to
said,
hug you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He gives you that vibe. He
You're
does.
not alone, brother. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Did you say you were unable, you can't find the light where you are hiding? Is that a reference saying that you were dwelling in the darkness? Is that what that is at the end of the poem? I can't, because I wrote it down in the comments. I can't find the light where I'm hiding.
No, it's I can't find the light while I'm hiding,
Oh, while I'm hiding.
living in the crater of my once upon a time. So no, it's about trying to emerge from that darkness.
Oof.
That I won't be able to find the light unless I get out of this crater I've been living in.
Mm, mm, mm.
Thank
That's
you.
quite a pit. I was visualizing that. Thank you for repeating that. Oh my gosh.
Nemo, I love you. You know I love you. Because you speak for so many of us that can't find the words to describe the feelings that we have every other day or last week or yesterday. You have an amazing way and knack of putting it just right and making others that are in that darkness feel okay. We're not alone. And we're still standing because we're here. We're right here to hear it, to understand it, to conquer it, day by day, moment by moment.
Thank you, Gifted.
And I appreciate your pen for that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that peace, when there's finally peace, you find yourself praying for the fighting to start again. That is just so remarkable and sad and brilliant, because we become conditioned, you know? We become conditioned to those things around us that yeah. And wow.
The peace is so foreign.
Right. That we don't want it.
When it finally comes in those moments when the clouds break, it's so hard to deal with. It's so foreign.
Oh gosh, beautiful, brilliantly done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Definitely powerful. I don't even know what to add to that. So much was said in there that um we can all find ourselves in there, especially the whole "Have you ever" segment. We can all find ourselves in those moments where we just wanted to bury ourselves in our emotion. Um, the biggest thing that I liked was when you said, um, "We can't be nobody forever." Yeah. So it's like saying, you have to step into your light. You have to step into the duty and your purpose for being here. I think you do that so well when you deliver these pieces because it allows us all to know that it's okay, you know, to have those heavy moments as long as you fight to climb out. Good work. Good
Yeah,
work.
thank you.
Any more flowers before we move forward?
Yeah, I think that we all should stand where we sit, just embrace Nemo. I just give him an embrace for all of us and for all those who are facing depression. But definitely for Nemo for writing that poem. Nemo, I love you. I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you too.
Yep. I mean that, Nemo. I'm not just saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I've been
Love you
saying
too,
hey,
bro.
yeah. I'm glad you got to leave town though. All jokes aside, you need to get out.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And embrace these hugs, Nemo. I mean, I see it. It made you emotional and got you a little choked up over there. Embrace it, brother. Know that you are loved and you deserve to be loved. Gonna keep
I
moving.
love you all so much. Thank you.
Mr. Witz,
Yes.
you know what's wonderful about this? We naked up in here. It, it's just such a gift. It's just such a wonderful gift that folks can come here and share and know that they're embraced by love and, no judgment. No judgment is necessary anyway because we're family here. That's one thing we know as poets and artists, that we are family, no matter the color, no matter the gender, we are a family. And we
Right.
fight and stand. We're going to fight and stand for one another. And again, Nemo, Amaya, a salute to your vulnerability, a salute to the fact that you're brave to show that and display that. You his food brother, you my food son.
Right. That's right. That's right. I love it. Love it. I love it. Keep that energy going. Shit, you just made me emotional right there with that. Mama, thank you for that share. Thank you all for embracing and loving on each other. Nemo, we got you, man. We got you, bro. Man, let's move forward. Y'all continue to love on our brother in and out of the chat. And while you're doing that, open your hearts and your mics and let's show some love to the other half of this show, the amazing Gifted.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Oh,
Good.
yeah, we keep looking.
Let's go.
Oh, I love y'all. Two things. I don't want to go after Nemo ever again. No. Two things. And the other thing is, I'm not on my computer. I wasn't going to go. I wasn't going to take a turn because I'm not on my computer. I'm on my work computer. And I don't have any poems, like, you know, then I was like, you know what, especially Nemo reminded me, being on the stage, I don't have my poems right in front of me or on a phone, or, you know, I have to go with memory. So you all will be getting old pieces today that I have committed to memory. So, and I'm not going to do the one everyone asked for. I'm going to do some really old stuff. Like this first one is from 2010. I hope you like it. All us, we. We are many things. The culmination of our forefathers, the possibility when all the stars and planets perfectly align. Seeds that are ingrained in our roots, loins of our mother's fruit. Collection of bags and baggage and bags and baggage. And yet we walk and rise from the ashes. Our ancestors paved the way so that we can stand on our truths, surround and walk in the morals and strength of our own convictions. We are many things, the combination of our forefathers. I am African American, Cherokee Indian, Black woman, a survivor of many things that have knocked me down and I've gotten back up again. I am a visionary of hope. I am you. I am you. And I am you. Our differences are not that far between that we cannot find common thread. Our differences are not that far between that we cannot find a common thread. We're all connected. All we have to do is reach. Reach. Blood that flows, flows in one color. Blood that flows, flows in one color. Blood that flows, flows in one color. And last time I heard, it was red. All us. We've all we've got. So united, we need to stand. All us we.
Come on, Gifted.
That's what I can remember. I think it's quite short. That's what I remember.
Beautiful.
I felt it in my spirit. I felt it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. We have to
Amazing.
just definitely we have to find common ground, and find more things that are alike than different when we begin to fight these battles of those who don't see the same.
That's it. That's the key. That's what it means to be community.
Yep.
To not be any separation. Nothing
Right.
keeps us from being us. Us, we, how would you put it?
All us we.
Yeah.
It's you.
It's very important that we look at each other in that fashion. Because, you know, the oppression that's on us is a systematic thing. You know, it's this ownership of us, you know, that keeps us from growing. So the only way for us to grow out of that is to work together in all aspects.
Right.
Separation. It has to be a community, family, a collective effort. That was a beautiful piece and definitely resonated.
Thank you. All right, this next piece is really, really old. Don't judge me. But it was a fun piece. Listen, it always got the crowd riled up. All right. Remember, it's old. Sit back and let me tell you what I am for you. I'm your good and plenty in view. Sit back and let me massage your temple and arouse your mind with the pleasures of my being. I want to feed your soul and allow you to taste my thoughts until they become yours. I mean, I want to wrap you up in this essence, the essence of my sweet blackberry rose. And then I want to have you melting away all of your hard exterior, exposing the essence, the very essence of your sweet liquoric extract. I want to have that gift, and for you to have the gift that keeps on giving and giving him something he can feel. I want to be your aphrodisiac, your euphoria, your love potion, your morning, noon, and night. And then again, morning, noon, and night. So, baby, embrace me. Don't reel me in and then throw me back. I need you to pull me in close. I want you to know that I am your good and plenty, and that I will keep your engine running just right. Oh, so tight. So don't sit back. Sit back and let this feeling pass. I mean, I need you to reel me in real good and allow this flame that's burning for you to be the burning desires of our hearts. I mean, let me be the ecstasy of your treasures. I want to open up my heart, have you open up yours, allow me to tell you all my secrets, and I tell you mine and you tell me yours, and then we will just hold on to the loving so strong to one another, but nothing can come between this good and plenty loving. So baby, hold on. Grab that feeling. Let the vibe be yours from here on out. 'Cause I'm your goods and plenty and view. I'll be waiting for you.
I always feel like I'm at a play. The performance, the delivery, dear God in heaven. Yes. Love you.
Oh, it used to be fun. It was a fun piece.
You know, Gift, you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about that poem, huh? I just told Mr. Woods I can't listen to this.
This piece is from like 2008.
Oh, dear God.
I don't care.
It's been a minute since I heard you gifted. It's been a minute,
Oh.
and your voice, you know, I love your voice and the way that you yeah, we talk about this all the time, and you always act like it's the first time I told you.
Oh no. Thank you.
I love your storytelling, and oh my gosh, that poem has bars for days. So I was just over here like, yeah, get it, yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. It was rough. It's been a long time since I've done that one, but thank you.
Gifted, your voice is the rumble of angels. I feel like you're up there on the mountaintop, you know? It's like where I feel like we're all trying to get with our voices.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Love you. I don't
Well,
know why
I don't,
Miss Betty
I
said
don't,
she
I
can't
don't
listen
care
to
when
this.
you wrote that poem. You wrote it for me.
That's where I'm coming from, Gifted.
Every time I hear it, it was handwritten for me. It was spoken for my ears only.
Oh my goodness.
Let me put a 100 in the room behind that.
I can't with you. I'm done.
But
Oh
I
my God.
just
I
thank you
love y'all.
for being so naked.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. I got to go get back to memorizing my pieces because that was rough. I love y'all though. Thank you.
We can work them out together. Anytime you want to practice, I'm here. I'm available.
You're good and plenty.
Factory. Let me put that in the chat too.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Y'all keep loving on Gifted. I thank you so much for helping me for co-piloting this show and allowing it to continue on and be a major part of this. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. That being said, y'all keep that love going for Gifted, and y'all open up your hearts and mics. Let's show some love to D Librarian.
We ain't done.
Yeah,
Hey, how
glad you're
y'all?
here.
Let's go,
Thank
Dimple.
you. Oh, it's up. What's up, Hal? How about that? Nah, she always talking about my dimples. I'm always talking about her hair. Oh my gosh, I miss y'all. So I have 2 poems. They're relatively short, but hold on. I gotta get out of Zoom. I already got them queued up. Oh, I thought I did. See, Instagram make you start over when you be gone too long. Okay. Y'all can still see me, right?
Yes.
Somebody say,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, good.
We can see.
Okay, thank y'all. Okay, I can see y'all. Well, I can only see me. But anyway, this poem is entitled Sensational. Common interests assemble in packs of provocation, rendering rhetoric that challenges the wit of public opinion. Exercising dominion over ways of, wait, I'm sorry, let me start over, y'all. Common interests assemble in packs of provocation, rendering rhetoric that challenges the wit of public opinion. Exercising dominion over waves of frequencies generate currency that feeds jealousy. Zealously acquainted with entities under the guise of hypocrisy. Rotten fruit breeding in the eyes of democracy. Honestly, no honesty amongst thieves whose ruthless activity bereaves the lives of those mastered by slavery. Savoring the illusion of free will every time the ink spills between the margins of profitable exploitations. Patrons, alive with sensation, lost in the euphoria stationed in programming, broadcasted under conditions given to superficial consumption, creating artifacts of noise, leading to malfunction. Ooh, my bad, y'all. That was hard to. It's been a minute since I read that. That's like a tongue twister. I got to practice that some more. That was a rough read, but I like that poem. Did y'all catch that?
I don't think it was
That
as
was
rough
good.
as you think it was, but I'm gonna tell you like this: if I'm ever looking for a word, I'm gonna ask you. That's why you ain't
I
see that
know, right?
for nothing. I love your mind. It's so broad. You're so well learned. You know what I'm saying? So,
Thank you.
even when Demegas was speaking his piece, um, your feedback was so on point, to show that how broad your mind is. Um, I love that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, hold on, y'all. I gotta go back to Instagram. Okay. And wait, I'm coming. Wait, that's not the post. Give me a hot second. I'm coming, y'all. I promise. Wait a minute. I lost it. I promise I'm coming. I think I lost.
TMI.
Take your
TMI.
time, boo.
Oh, thank y'all. Y'all so gracious. Because I swear I had the post queued up. Now I act like I can't find it. Oh, here it goes. Here it is. Because it wasn't, sometimes I write poems in my captions on my post. And I had forgot where this one was.
Yes.
Yes. So that's what happens. I can't help it. So this is what happens sometimes. So the post reads, it's a quote that says, "I'm a Black woman in America." Let that sink in. I'm subject to prospects of hatred for nothing other than the color of my skin. Let's not forget that I'm a woman, perceived to be in a constant state of angry anytime I express discontent over the foolishness that I have to deal with. If it was up to society, I'd remain silent. But the masculine in me exerts energy that manifests into jealousy when I zealously assert my dominant personality to combat the violence. Projected by the insolent assumptions of petty men, yet when I raise my voice and bleed passionately through my pen, sharing my truth from fountains of youth, pouring into glasses that are half full to quench the thirst of the resentful, reminding them to swallow the lumps lodged in their throat, but I hope they choke on the nails they use to shut the coffins of the abused with misused ideology, embedded in the minds of generations who finally feed the beast of greed and hostility in efforts to acquire dominion of the minds of free men, granting persons of color the illusion of freedom. I run the risk of losing my life every time I step or color outside the lines of expectation, perpetuated by generations of dishonorable humans. Their existence is putrid, one in which makes me sick to my stomach, so I will no longer stomach the fallacy exemplified by a flawed humanity. Poem.
Come on, y'all open your mics and show some love.
I do it.
Wow.
Come on, librarian.
Exquisite, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Your word choice is so prominent. It's like it's so purposeful. You don't misuse anything. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a purpose, and I loved how you connected that. Like, I hope the naysayers, the non-believers, choke on the nails that they try to put in my coffin. You know what I'm saying? That was so. That's why I put that woo in that.
Nasty.
Yeah.
I hope you choke on it.
Right. And not just the words, but the way you utilize them. Like the pause was right on point. You know what I'm saying? So I love the piece. And that stand up, the confidence in that piece. And I'm standing up for me. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
Oh man. I'm sorry. I felt that. Thank you. With at the end, that last thing you said, I'm standing up for me. I swear that is literally the first time. The first time. I mean, I get a lot of compliments, but I felt that in my spirit. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody just truly gets it the entire time. Cause I get vilified. But that's really what the message truly is. That's where all my activism come from. You want to talk about the inner child? Well, here it is. You know what I'm saying? I was an unprotected kid. Oh my gosh. And you got that. I'm standing up for me. That's 5 words, right? Yeah. Love thy neighbors, you love thyself. That's why I can't help but to fight. I can't help it. I fight in every which way possible. Oh, in every way possible. My ex-husband say I fight with my words. Yes, because at sometimes my words was all I had. That don't mean that I fight nasty. I didn't argue my way out of lots of things. I had to learn how to fight at different levels. I know why I was chosen to do this. Everybody can't walk in these shoes. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been where I've been at in the past when I didn't argue my way out of some things, and no fear in my heart about it. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this. I'm not talking about the writing. I'm talking about the spirit.
No,
Amen.
I
Amen.
felt that
Oh.
statement. I was looking at a real Eddie Griffith Jr. And he said, you know, the biggest or shall I say the best way to fight is I'm not fighting you, but I'm fighting in you. You know, I'm fighting me in you. That's what he said. So I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting me in you. So go ahead and swing so I can learn how to whoop your ass.
That part.
In the short term. You know? So yeah, that was dope.
I like that. I appreciate the feedback, y'all. That was dope.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say ditto. I loved it. I love the opening line. I'm a Black woman in America, and I know that was really what the prompt was, but let that sink in. That part, just I love that part, and I love the whole thing, and I love standing up for you. I know something little something about that, so I love that part, and I'm gonna keep it moving because it's time is when I want to get to other
Thank
people.
y'all.
I love it, and so good seeing you back on the screen. So
Yes, man. Love y'all. Thank you.
We love you too. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank y'all for having me.
Any more flowers before we move forward? Okay, beautiful. Y'all keep loving on D Librarian. And as y'all doing that, open your hearts and y'all mics and let's show some love for Daniel Fernandez.
woohoo, Daniel!
Flow, yeah.
Been a minute.
Good to have you
It has been a
here.
minute. It's
Good to
good to
see
be
you.
back. Thank you for the space. It was an amazing, it is amazing, you know, being back and having, you know, listening to all of you guys performing. It's awesome. For today, I have the two. One is actually something I wrote yesterday, and one is just one of my favorites that I've been enjoying performing. So my link tree is in the chat, you know, just for if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Reddit, etc. The first poem is called Glossophobia. The fear of public speaking. Despite sharing my own work, anxiety breaks through the ceiling. My hands start shaking as if I'm freezing, flying through stanzas as I'm trying to control my breathing. All eyes on me, as if I was caught speeding, stealing attention, hoping someone finds my notions intriguing, taking it slow so that no lines are misleading, juggling metaphors as emotions become overwhelming. It's so common that it affects 75% of our population. Confidence dissolves, all due to public communication. Do you want to perform? Thoughts on rotation. Shit, I don't know. Which then builds frustration. No, it's okay, but I'll stay for inspiration. Listening to poets undressing their souls became motivation. Snapping because I'm dazzled by by art. Fuck. Snapping because I'm dazzled by my generation. Poetry is therapy without the medication. Writing about how we feel, regardless of the interpretation. It's bliss, depending on the information. Sadness takes the spotlight and the room is contaminated. On stage experimenting with elevation. I'll overcome the fear. It takes practice to be somewhat perfect. As long as I have faith in myself, I can close the door to forget. Perform a piece of my conscience that even has me impressed. Spreading the love by describing pain became my way to connect. I can focus on my craft and what I write down, thinking about the next line as I scan the crowd. I start sweating as demons circle around, but then I'm humble because of the relief my poems announce. Being an introvert can be a huge factor. Can't risk embarrassment, and yet I stammer, hiding behind the shadows of a pitiful disaster, reading pages of life, oblivious on the next chapter. Pain keeps the mind awake. When performing, it's quite easy to stumble on a mistake, rocking my body as I struggle to keep my back straight. Intrusive thoughts emerge, so I manage what I can tolerate. My eyes roam as I read some new shit, poems of a bashful man trying to exist. Life stabs my innocence and karma gives me a kiss. My 3 minutes are up and I drift, closed off like Area 51, but that's because I'm reticent, unable to respite like the average resident, comfortable with my work and yet I'm hesitant. Pay attention because mental illness is evident, jumping on an idea so that I can finish it in 2 days, emotionally naked as I pray agony can be replaced. My shoulders can't accommodate the weight, lost and confused, walking towards fate, making promises to God for a clean slate. No stone unturned became a personal trait. I'm getting drunk off whatever I create. If writer's block becomes a concern, I continue a different day. Swimming in social anxiety. People can judge, but I value my privacy. How ironic with poems that describe me, writing about experiences as if it's a diary. I'm on deck, so I have to mentally prepare. Pull out my phone, nervous due to what I'm about to share. Read it over in my head as I sit insensible on a chair. Seconds become minutes, I swear. My name is called, and even Satan is aware. Walking to the stage, holding hands with despair. Glossophobia, hopefully it's a temporary issue. Just because I'm afraid it won't prevent content from being produced. People will listen to dread, but ignore it like a damaged tissue. If poetry wasn't a thing, I would have used a noose. Text a handful of acquaintances, curious on the response they'll shoot. Contemplate as hope is unfit to boost. I can't sleep if I'm confined in thought loops. I write it all down, and these poems are proof. It's a dream of mine to prosper off this, so I have no excuse. I'm Daniel Fernandez. It's time for a legend to be introduced. Thank you.
All right then.
Kapow! What a way
Cap-
to end it.
Amen.
Ba-boom.
Amen.
Buy his book,
Right.
Emotional Defibrillator. It rocks.
Yep.
Good to have you
Thank
back,
you.
Daniel. We ain't see you in quite a while, man.
It has been a while. There's been a lot of work and also, stress from daily life. It pulls you away a lot more than you claim to or want to admit. It's sad, but it is what it is. That's why we got poetry.
Never forget,
And
man, we got your embrace over here. If you ever feeling like things is getting heavy on you, come talk to your family, reach out. It don't have to be on the screen, it can be behind the screen. Just know that you have people in your corner, bro. Don't never try to carry the weight by yourself, especially when it gets too heavy.
I appreciate that. For my second piece is actually something I wrote yesterday, and it's called Stage or For the Page. Do you write for the page or for the stage? I was asked before, and my response won't change. I write for myself, that way my problems disengage, setting my boundaries down in order to explain, listening to my heart, oblivious to what I'll create. Emotion so pure it sets a fundamental base. It gives me hope unless I drown myself in blame, choking on what my conscience proclaims. I won't lie, sometimes I drift away from myself, writing from someone else's perspective, seeking professional help, stories about life and the dangers of mental health. A simple experience can make existing a living hell. And with that pain, we use poetry as a gateway, throwing words around to see what it can display, jotting down agony but telling everyone that you're okay, filling up sheets of paper as if you're writing an essay. It might sound like a cliche, but that's how I see it. You write for yourself, that way stress can be dismissed. If you're an author, you know it hurts to configure a manuscript. Opening bottled up emotions can lead to personal conflict. I switch it up from time to time. Novels about romance, then flip the genre so that it's true crime. A transition that's so necessary, it's sublime. Writing in first person point of view to understand the mind. Actions might seem irrelevant unless you know the intentions behind. A puzzle that's perfectly constructed and designed. Every writer is different, so I can't speak about everyone in the room. We are equally afraid to share as if we're sending nudes. Poems about damaged hearts and the tears we are forced to consume, performing our favorite pieces so that everyone is amused. To write a poem deliberately to perform takes a bit out of you, trying to seize everyone's attention without being rude. Don't roast anyone because you don't want to be the one removed. Speaking to everyone about all of the shit that you go through. Be careful with the details, but don't be prude. Enjoy the moment as if you're eating your favorite food. You can't predict the crowd because every show is different. I have stage fright myself, but proud for what my thoughts represent. I lose myself sometimes and can't find a way to circumvent. Moving forward into life, prudence but ignorance. I can't focus because I've been a bit preoccupied. I'm too busy to carouse as if I'm working homicide. I keep my mouth shut as if everything is classified, splattering my blood on a canvas until I am truly satisfied. We suffer when surrounded by auditory silence. I pray, but I can't find myself being righteous. My thoughts keep on going as if it's timeless. I'm in such pain, all I can do is remain quiet. Thank you.
Y'all open your mics and show some love.
Daniel, the shit
Yeah.
started. Yes. Wow.
Phenomenal.
It's like bam,
Phenomenal.
bam, bam. It's great.
Stage and the page, bro.
Yeah, I love it. Tackle that problem. Some people believe that the shit doesn't exist. Like it just disappeared. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like your style, you have your end rhyme, but I get tickled as fuck when you do an internal rhyme on top of the end rhyme. Yeah, man. I see what you do. I see what you do.
Thank you, thank you.
I gotta go back. I was watching the movie Freedom Riders as the show started tonight, and just feeling the energy around the room. It just put me right back into why I was viewing that. You know what I'm saying? Before this came on, like everybody's dealing with similarities and different views from different ethnicities. You know what I'm saying? But we all family in that same circle, and we here. We found each other. We found each other. That's all I'm gonna say about that. CP, it's good to have you in the room. D Librarian, could you lower your hand for me, please, Queen? I don't want to.
Yeah, give me a hot second. Let me. Okay, we go. There we go.
Thank you, baby. I just didn't want to get confused. I was looking and I was trying to see who was next. You know, as we wind down, I know CP want to share. If there's any more flowers for Daniel, let's please give them.
I enjoyed it. The wordplay. I'm under the influence, so I can't remember anything that I thought of. So y'all already know what happens to me in this moment. But Daniel, can you put your IG in the chat so I can follow you, your wordplay? I like that. The bars, I love it. I definitely would like to see more of your work, okay?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll put my link tree in the chat and it'll have everything. You'll have the link to the book. It'll actually have a link to Instagram. I actually have some of my work on different websites like Ready Prompts. So the link will also have that. And then you could see one website, there's prompts that's 1,000-word limit. And sometimes I put my work on there because it's long enough. So I have it there. I also have it in a different one, which is called Fan Story. And those are 2 locations where you can find my work as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Y'all keep loving on our brother Daniel Fernandez. And while y'all doing that, open your hearts and mics and let's show some love to Mama Betty.
Whoop whoop, Mama Betty.
Woo, let's go, Mama Betty.
One love, you guys.
One
Hi,
love.
CP. Hi, CP Maze.
I
Okay. So, this poem I wrote, I think maybe last week. So here we go. We are one with earth. We abide side by side with the mountains, trees. We tiptoe river bends, nostrils, capable to hold breath if we just happen to fall into ocean waters. In our hands, a walking stick, a weapon against wild dogs and wild men. And that's that poem.
Yes. Yes.
Good Lord.
Wait for short poems.
And this poem I wrote.
know. Love it. Love it.
And then this poem I wrote yesterday, and I asked Freddie Freeloader, Preston Touchstone, to write a poem where folks were honoring Chadwick Boseman, you know, the brother from the Black Panther, Wakanda.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, thank you. And so he did it. And so he asked me to write one behind him. So this is what I wrote. And you go to my page or go to his page and look at the poem and listen to the poem that he wrote. Touch, hot blood running cold over river rocks, mass, populace, humankind, stones, gray, void of color, stand, a spiritual protest, soul, honoring humanity lost to war. Tears drop, begging, pleading, peace, come round here. But this be a world extrained from tenderness, expounding proclivity of fear. Peace desires not to come near. Unified, uniform, universally we mourn. Lost ones, loved ones, we held so dear. Peace, be still. And that's that poem.
Come on, Mama Betty. Y'all open y'all
Thank
mics.
you, Miss Betty.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mama Betty with the wisdom and the black
Yeah.
hat.
I
Show
think it
everyone
was,
how it's done.
was it the story goes that the challenge for who's the guy who did Red Fish, Blue Fish? What's the guy's name?
Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
Seuss.
They say Dr. Seuss was given a challenge to write a book with 50 words or less. That's the story I heard. And that's when he came about his first book. So he always wrote books with small, like it was all about the illustration. It wasn't a lot of words. Like what you're able to say with 50 words, most fuckers can't say with 3 pages. Like your writing is, it's insane. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That was dope.
Amen. CP
I loved it as well, from the first line. And I think I put touched, but I don't know what happened, but touched, hot blood running cold. You paint such a vivid picture with your words. And they're so cathartic, make you think, and they release. So I love your work. Your work is poetry, you know. When you think of the poetry that you see in books, I think of your work, and it's beautiful, yet profound. So thank you, and thank you for always pushing me and motivating me, despite the Mr. Witz thing. But we'll talk about that later.
Oh, hey, yeah, we talk about it later. We talk about it later because you don't want to get cut up in here, okay?
Because I love you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you, guys.
I love y'all both. Y'all something special. I truly do. Love y'all. I love this family. Oh man, any more flowers for the amazing Miss Betty?
You deserve to be published. You should be published like everywhere.
I said, like the poetry you see in books.
Yep.
She got some stuff she working on, right?
Yeah, honest, I am.
All right. All right, good. Good to hear. Very good to hear. This
Just wanted
piece
to speak out for
definitely
you. You're definitely
is
working on some things. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't know.
Amazing.
this, yeah,
Amazing.
amazing.
That's what's up. Well, that being said, y'all keep loving on Mama Betty as always. And while y'all doing that, open your hearts and your mics and show some love to our final artist of the night, our brother CP.
Hey, everybody. Actually, I fell through just to get inspired. I'm sorry I'm late. I have like 4 poems that I have to have memorized by like Friday for this gig I got commissioned for. Like this core poem play. It's kind of a big deal. So now I'm trying to memorize the poems for it. So sorry for showing up late. I'm gonna run back over a poem that just got selected that they're gonna do some type of video for this organization. So I need to run it again just to get the feel for it off my mouth. It's called Voice Boxing with Heroes. I've been voice boxing with heroes for as long as I can remember. Fears. For what? Just to watch our own dreams die slow? 2. Decorated Sergeant Marine Corps medals equals 2 rows? 3. I don't know much about comic books, but believe me, I know a lot about heroes. 4. When I was knee-high to a grasshopper, age 4, with a face full of tears, face to face with fears, the fight my parents fought was to keep their keepsakes from having to do their homework in the dark. Heroes. 5. When times were really hitting hard, they could stretch $20 in the grocery store shopping cart and feed their family of 5 for a week. Heroes. 6. Some need no cape. Heroes. 7. Days a week. Heroes. 8. Bouncing back, single parents still choosing love over hate. Even after a divorce state with a soul full of faith, knowing true love is not too late now. Courageously, you're going out on your first date. Heroes. 9. Autistic twins, age 9, teaching them your code. You protect yourself. You fight to protect those that can't protect themselves, just to turn around and be told how you stood up to an adult bully at a 4th grade bus stop, abusing the trust of other souls. My autistic twins, 2 of my strongest heroes. 10, 20, 30 hours overtime a week. After week, losing sleep just to ensure there's something underneath your family's Christmas tree. Heroes. I am voice boxing here. There are times when my PTSD gets the best of me. There are times when life gets the best of me. There are times when life can just sucker punch the breath out of me, but never give up. Even when I get knocked down, when you get knocked down, we never give up. Even when it takes a really long time to get back up, you never give up. Friends, strangers, family, you better never give up and know that you are made of the stuff that makes up what true heroes are made of. I am voice boxing here. Confession. Autism, PTSD, depression, twice a week speech therapy, hard to comprehend homework. It ain't no joke. Quote, the devil whispered in my ear, you're not strong enough to withstand the storm. Today, I whispered in the devil's ear, I am the storm, end quote, confession. Am, and you are the storm, heroes. Some of us need no cape. Poem. But that's the only one I have in the back pocket for today.
Fucking hot fire!
Appreciate you. I'm working out the kinks. I am
Yeah.
working out the kinks.
Yeah,
Oh my
well,
God, that made me
I
chill.
love that
I
piece.
agree. I
I
agree.
love that piece.
Thank you. Wow.
There's so much in it.
It's-
There's always so much in your pieces, man. To dig through just the whole concept of the heroes being in your parents. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? For the sacrifices that they made of their lives. I think people overlook the fact that our parents, or especially our moms, is like our first God, because if it wasn't for those 9 months of grooming us, and then that sacrifice of body, mind, and life, period. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we're learning and within those times groom us into who we start off to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very heroic. And then the advocacy of all of the mental illness. You know what I'm saying? And the ownership of, you know, this is me, but I'm bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just
I think my because I got like my sons are on the spectrum. So that's the when I'm mentioning on the spectrum, the autism, that's them. Like with the PTSD and all the stuff that comes sitting on my back with all my diagnoses is coming out the Marine Corps. I just remember, man, and I think a lot of us have this emotion at some point in our life, like, why me? You know, like, why am I still standing here when so many other people did not make it? And how many, and so many people have given up of themselves just so I could be sort of okay. You know, people that'll give you their last $5 if they got 7, you know, like those people are like heroes, and people don't like, people just don't, they don't embrace the fact, like, you don't need a fucking superhero cape. Like, you don't need to come through with Christmas gifts. Like, every single day you're getting up at, I don't know, 4:30 in the morning to get the kids ready for school, to prep yourself, to do all of this. Like, we're all heroes to somebody. We're heroes to somebody. I guess that's what I want to say. Yeah.
love that. Love that.
Mm,
Powerful.
Well, all right then. Shoot. I just had to chime in and say I like that. Your delivery is always strong, brother, but that moved me. That's all I wanted to say. Let me keep quiet.
I want some of what you're drinking. What you drinking?
It's just some light stuff, just some little margarita things, but that's all I need. You can tell I ain't been drinking because I'm lifted just enough.
Got you.
You are a force of nature, sir. A force of nature.
Trying to be nice.
He whispered in the devil's ear and told him he was the storm.
Yeah, man. And I can't figure out who's that quote from. I like when I scoured the net, like I heard it in boot camp in the Marine Corps, but I don't know who actually pinned that quote because there's so many different authors that I hear pinned it. So I just left it untitled. Like,
Somebody just sent that to me today. I heard it as a samurai. So yeah, there's a lot of versions out there. I haven't been able to find an origin either.
Yeah, I've tried. It's one of my favorite quotes. Like, yeah, I am the storm. Bring it. So yeah, man.
Powerful. Tonight has been another amazing night. Let me come on screen with you all. see me. Okay, there I am. Tonight has been amazing as always. Again, the unity of you all, of us all, is unmatched in my heart. I don't care where we land. I just know when we here, we truly show that we are family, and I love that about y'all. I hope y'all never stop being that energy. And again, if there's ever a time where you feel like the world is heavy and weighing on you, don't forget your family. Don't feel like you are a burden. You know, you never know um, who has time for you. You know, you know what I mean. I may not even be using the right wording on that, but just know that we are connected with purpose. It's bigger than these screens we share. It's bigger than the poems that come out of us. Um, when you see people continuously showing up for you in your life, um, don't take that for granted. Know that that's your village. This is your family. Um, so I'm gonna say it again. If you ever feel like the world is heavy on your back, I'll put my number in the chat. Holler at me. I'll have time for you. Um, I hope I've proven that. Oh, left a number out. I hope I've proven that to some. Um, but again, we are bigger than these screens, and let's not forget that. So let's please keep each other lifted. I don't ever want to hear somebody come on here and say, "Well, you haven't seen me because the world was weighing." Stop trying to carry that. You know, it's you can't carry the weight of the world. You know, and you're not meant to. You know, we all have our portion, but you don't never have to carry it alone. Not when you got family. Utilize one another. And with that being said, you know, y'all open your mics, love on each other a little bit before we get out of here.
Hi,
All of
everybody.
you.
Oh, love
Thank you for
y'all.
this space that we create.
Good night.
It's
Oh,
such a
you guys.
magical place.
I love you all.
love you too, Nemo. Oh,
Love
Love
you.
you. Love you.
love you too, Mama
Thank you all
Betty.
for a
Night,
great
everyone.
Love you
night.
too, CP Mays.
I
Will.
love Paige.
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
Daniel, that's okay. We just meeting, but we love everybody. I
Yeah,
love
yes,
you
that's
too,
right.
baby. Put this down here. Megan, love you too, brother. That's all right. I love it. It's so nice.
He is nice, Megan. I think Megan's might be gone. But we
No,
love him just the
no,
same.
he
He'll
down
hear it.
He might have went to the kitchen. You never know. Sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta step away for a minute. You know.
And Daniels, yep. And all of you all, Nemo, you know how I feel. CP. Miss Betty, know I love her. I got her in my book.
yeah.
She's
I
in my
love you
book.
too. I
I
love
love
you
you.
too.
D.
And with everybody who has
Mr. Witz, you okay? Okay, I'm sorry.
and that's all right.
You ain't gotta do that gift to tell the truth.
I know. You know, I know. Not, you know, I'm not a cocky person, but I know love. I know love, and I know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's a blessing to know what love feels like. So many people walking around on this planet feeling like they don't know where it's at. They don't know where to find it.
Amen.
So to know what
Amen.
love feels like is amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that. Just, yeah.
Thank you again for allowing the space.
Yeah.
Always a
It's
great
beautiful
opportunity.
space.
I look forward to Wednesdays.
Thank
I
you.
love it. I look forward to having y'all here with us as well. And congratulations and good luck to everybody with your upcoming works. You know, whether it's a project coming out, whether it's a book,
Yeah.
whether it's
A showcase
performance,
feature.
right. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's ordained to you. I
Right.
wish you well. I wish you the best.
So true. So true. Good luck, CP. And I think Erica also had a feature. All right. You guys kick butt. One love.
One love.
Power.
Go
Amen.
check out Miss
night.
Betty's poem. I did. It was cool.
Let me get that heart right. I'm looking right
Right.
now.
There it is.
I seen somebody do it down here. Couldn't do it with the
No,
paper.
I need sidekicks. Or he got a. I like his. Yeah.
Yes,
Crazy.
quit throwing up gang signs, cuz. They gonna bang on
He
you
was
on
like,
Zoom. They bang on you in
oh,
Zoom.
that's
I can't do
right.
nothing about it in Houston, dog.
I love
Oh,
it.
man.
Y'all have a good night. Megan,
Takes it easy.
Mr.
Yeah.
said we love you.
Yes, yes, indeed.
All right, Daniel, I think he's gone, but yeah, you all have a great night.
Indeed.
All right, take care.
All right.
Mr. Wiz, did you need anything from the chat before I close it?